It's spelled out in the First Amendment of the Constitution. A free press is believed to be at the core of our democracy. But as our national correspondent Christine Frizzell tells us, recent rankings of press freedoms of countries around the world have the U.S. nowhere near the top.
Julie, we'll go straight to questions. Margaret, Christy.
The role of a free press is to hold elected leaders accountable. But what happens when some of the press freedoms are stifled? Scroll down the list of countries with the freest presses, compiled by Reporters Without Borders, and you'll have to scroll a while. The U.S. ranks number 46. Craig Aaron, president and CEO of Free Press, says the U.S. is sliding in the wrong direction.
A country that has always been, in many ways, really a beacon of press freedom, having a First Amendment, having press freedom, literally baked into our Constitution, I think it's especially concerning.
Now, in many cases, the job of an investigative reporter is to get information the government may not want you to know. Now, the reason for these low rankings for the United States, in the last few years especially, has to do with increased crackdowns, both on journalists and their sources. A few examples. Fox News reporter James Rosen was named a co-conspirator in a leak case by the Department of Justice, simply for reporting what he was told. We now know the Department of Justice also secretly tapped phone lines of some reporters at the Associated Press. And New York Times reporter James Risen now faces jail time for refusing to identify a confidential source.
We've seen people stepping forward, talking to reporters when they see wrongdoing in the agencies where they are, and this administration in particular going after those whistleblowers very aggressively and raising threats to the journalists who are on the story.
Inside Washington, D.C.'s Newseum, the United States is still green for free, but nowhere near the Netherlands, Norway, and Sweden, viewed to have the world's most free presses.
Does it surprise you at all that the U.S. was not closer to the top of the list?
It surprises me a lot. I would think the U.S. would be like in the top 5.
Most people believe a thriving democracy rests on a well-informed citizenry. But when those in charge of doing the informing are silenced, press freedom advocates say democracy may be threatened. I'm Christine Frizzell, News Channel 9.